Khuda Zongala Universe. Welcome to Mindfulness is Creativity. Well, I'm talking to you all this morning from a Thai pavilion in Cebu City. And this morning, I want to talk about something that affects millions of people around the world and increasingly many of us here in Bhutan too. I think you have guessed it. Yes, I'm talking about aging. For a very long time, society has quietly carried an big assumption that once people reach 60 years of age, their most productive years are behind them. They retire, they slow down, and gradually they move from the center of the society to the sidelines. But what if the assumption is wrong? What if retirement from an age has been mistakenly interpreted as a retirement from contribution? Well, retirement from employment has become retirement from opportunity. So as someone who has just crossed the age of 60 myself, I find this question increasingly important because I do not feel less creative today than I was 20 years ago. If anything, I feel more curious, more reflective, more purposeful, and perhaps even more creative. In fact, creativity does not always decline with age, which I've been talking about earlier in my talk. While youthful creativity may bring energy and experimentation, definitely, later life creativity often brings wisdom, perspective, patience, and deep understanding, and even sometimes completely new ideas. For instance, consider Colonel Sanders. Most people know KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Of course, you don't have that in the time. But what many do not know is that he began building this success only after age 65. In fact, he's supposed to have started KFC when he was 65. Or consider people who wrote books, start businesses, mentor others, teach great art, or serve communities long after retirement. And their contribution did not end, it evolved. So perhaps the problem is not aging. Perhaps the problem is how society sees aging. Because the moment someone enters or turns 60, many systems quietly begin saying, "Thank you very much, please step aside." But even when the person's experience, wisdom, network, and creativity may be at their peak, and honestly, sometimes society treats a 60-year-old as if they have become a historical monument. While creativity belongs to the curious, creativity belongs to observant, and creativity belongs to those who continue learning. So here is a question for all of us. What if retirement became not the age of contribution, but the beginning of a new chapter? When I say retirement, I'm talking about once you have crossed 60 years. Because the age may retire a position, but it should never retire imagination. It should never retire curiosity. And it should never retire creativity. Because the world does not need few creators. The world needs more creators, including those with 60, 70, or 80 years, or even 90 years of life experience. So let us all live mindfully, create boldly, stay in motion. Thank you, Kadin Salah, Teshkale, and see you all in the next